Hello, thank you for tuning in. This is No More Water Fire Next Time. My name is Larry Duncan Allen. You know, sometimes there are things that you may see and you think is preposterous. So would I. You think what person would believe that? But some people are fed such propaganda, and many times it's just things that they want to believe, so they'll believe it. And I was seeing where many Latinos in this nation and many Africans believed that. Let me turn my dynamics on. That hold the mic better, up better. But they um, they actually believed that black people in here in America, they believed that we were immigrants. Can you believe that? And that we would be deported. We were the thugs and gangsters who was going to be deported. I know it sounds crazy, but many of them admitted to actually believing that. And see, that's why they're getting what they get, because most of them voted for this criminal trying to hurt someone else. Most of them never said I did it because I think he was the better candidate. They were trying to hurt someone else, and and they hurt themselves. And they actually believe that black people are immigrants. Now I know the Latinos would believe because they never liked this anyway. You all can talk all the mess you want to. I lived around those Latinos. They warred with black people in Los Angeles. And black people did like black people do all over the world. Let folks into our stuff and then they end up with it. Many of those neighborhoods that were black in Los Angeles, like Watts and all, Compton, they're Latino now. At least they used to be, maybe vacant now. but but they warred with black people in LA. And I'm gonna get to the foreign mission in a minute also. You see, they're saying they need our help. Why come black people are nobody, powerless, but every time someone get any help, they calling for us? You got Arabs here, Asians, you got all type of, you got white immigrants who immigrated here because they're not gonna get put out. But you have all type of people. Why people always calling on black people when they get in trouble? But we can't call on anyone. We don't call on anyone. When we have problems, we take care of ourselves. Other people come and help, but we don't call for them. They come themselves. We appreciate their help, but we don't beg anyone to do anything for us. We do it ourselves, and that's what these people better do, or somebody else. If we wanted to do something for them, we'd have done it by now. You don't have to be all on social media like you're gonna dog us off for not helping you. We're not obligated to help you. I mean, who you think you are? You didn't help us. Matter of fact, black people people of color and black people have never been allies. Matter of fact, we get treated better by white people on the personal level. White people want to get on the large systematic level, that's different. But on the personal level, white people treat us better than people of color. We get along better with white people. The white immigrants from Europe and France and England and all, they come over here friendly with black people. I guess maybe there are some black people in the nation and not a whole lot. You see, the more that comes, the worse it gets. But people of color have never been our allies, so why you pretending now? Stop all that pretense. You never liked us. Now all of a sudden we your buddy. Just keep it like it is. They're all over social media everywhere. Where the black people at when we need them? Where was you at when we need you? Matter of fact, when we really needed people, even white people, during the civil rights movement, during segregation, they weren't there then. We did that all by ourselves. People came along later with issues like um, police brutality. Anyone can come in on something like that, but we didn't have any help when we was fighting for our very survival, our right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I know I said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it because people keep saying the same thing. So we did that ourselves. We had a few people to come in on the last part after they saw the water cannons and all, people in suits and dresses getting water, dogs, getting big dogs sent sick on them, and it wasn't in a lot of numbers. Still, we handled that ourselves. See what's the difference between us and the rest of you? We built for this. You're not. You didn't have 5 months. We had over 500 years. You didn't see us sitting there whining and crying, asking where somebody is. We're not coming nowhere. There may be a few want to come, let them come. But I hope the majority of us don't come anywhere. They can send all of you back for all I care. You never helped us none. All you did was keep up trouble with us. I know people going to get mad at me for saying this. You just be mad. I say what I want to say. It's my mouth. In my show. I say what I want to say. You can watch or don't watch, but I'm going to say it. I don't care what happened. As long as they don't hurt us. Because you never helped us. And I'm tired of all this compassion we showing and we don't get any back. Like I said, white people will come to our aid quicker than people of color will against other white people. See the bit, and I saw today where other folks walking around singing old slave songs and we should not be moved and all that. All the songs black people were singing in the civil rights movement. So I guess equality is coming one way, huh? They're doing what we used to have to do. The things that they laughed at us about. It's not so funny now, is it? And now the farmers, you know what the farmers are saying? They want black people to come pick their few for them. Now, did I mention that to you? They're going to try to get us to that. So I know what I'm talking about when I say this stuff. I know what I'm talking about, or I wouldn't say it. If I was just thinking it or speculating, I'd say it. When I come out and say it strongly, I know what I'm talking about. Because see what happened? They said black people coming, pick the few for them. But you know what? We're not going to come pick nothing. See, you see us as inferior. We're the next line of inferiority. Why come you didn't say white people come pick it or just people come and pick our few? Why you going to talk about black people like we're next on the N-word line? Pick it yourself or let it rot. Because we're not going to pick nothing. That's why they try to get us off with a better job so we go start working domestics. The thing we're going to do the things we did after slavery. We're not doing that mess no more. Get out there and do it yourself. Get you some poor white folks out there to do it. Why are you going to try to get black folks out there to do it? We've gotten past that. Bro, I heard Trump saying they're going to bring the Latino farm workers back. This man is one big pussy. I mean, he backs down on everything. Excuse me for saying that, but no, I said we all grown. But he backs down on everything. He the type he'll come up. He like a big bully who come up try to hit somebody. When he gets slapped back, he runs away crying or give in, give you all your money back. That way they call him Taco Man. He backs down to everything. But look, we cannot. People trying to shame us out to get us out there with them. But we ain't got no shame. We should shame on that. I really like the way black people being mature about this. But what they don't realize, this just hasn't started. I stated this before. Black people Thanks, Deontay. I see you. I see you on Facebook. Deontay Drake. I see you. He's one of my long-term people on City of Champions on YouTube. I really appreciate him. And what happens is I lost my train of thought. What was I at? Yeah, was that some of the foreign workers? Yeah, made me get a drink of coffee. Maybe I remember. Yeah, but no, we can't just let people try to shame us into doing things because I know what I was talking about. Black people march. We stopped with the protest after Ferguson. A lot of people didn't realize that. See, they take people take black people for granted so much until they don't realize when we've changed strategy. We don't do that old civil rights era 20th century strategy anymore. Black people learned that after Ferguson. March for 4 months, every night, armored personnel carrier, people out there with officers out there with assault rifles. They didn't care. And it didn't do us any good. Same thing, same outcome. Same outcome. And black people sort of laid down the protest and now thinking of other strategies. But we need to get together and think of a strategy, not wait for one to come up. But during Black Lives Matters, it was mostly other people out there, mostly white people. There wasn't a whole lot of black people out there. Told you where the protest that I which was recording. I turned around, I couldn't find about 600 people. After I turned away from the black people on the stage, I couldn't find a excuse me. After I turned from the white people on the stage, I couldn't find a black person. I cough a lot because I'm not used to doing a lot of talking. Once I get used to it, I'll be okay. But I'm used to having a panel and I ask them questions. They do most of the talk, and I come in. But yeah, we dropped that strategy, and we're thinking of something new. The Latinos is where we was back, and the other folks are where we was back in the '60s. We're about 60 years ahead of them now. But see, everybody realized the value of black people when they get in trouble. When Fox was in trouble, put out all those old crappy shows on Fox for black people to watch, build to help build the channel up, to build up their broadcasting, and then they started Fox News working against black people. Now they're doing with Tubi, putting out those old crappy low class movies on there because they know black people gonna flock and watch them. And Tubi is owned by the same person who owns Fox. But they know how to get you. You're gonna fall for the same thing every time. Long as you can have your fun, it doesn't matter what they're doing to your people. I'm gonna watch this if I want to. I know that's what you always say. You're always thinking selfishly. Oh, I'm not caring about no boycott. I'm going anyway. Oh, we know you are, and we know like you're gonna go. Because you care about your own little passion more than you do your people. Because most of you don't like your people anyway. It's just that when somebody does something wrong, you'll join in on the pushback and then go right back to what you was doing. But you see, I told you about how when Chrysler got in trouble, how black people saved them when didn't have any more designs for the Mustang. How black people saved them. Ford didn't have any more designs for the Ford Mustang. So what did they do? That Mustang around '84 until the present, until here recently, because the Mustang is not even a sports car anymore. It's a small SUV now. But they had a black woman to come in there to design the Ford Mustang for them. When Chrysler, I noticed when I saw Snoop Dogg, he was a known weed smoker, and at this time they didn't let people that had anything to do with drugs come on commercials or be with seen with a CEO. That was a no. But what happened was I noticed Leo Coca did a commercial with Snoop Dogg. And then after that, Chrysler went into bankruptcy and was on their way back to bankruptcy. So, you notice how when the Chrysler 300 became popular and the Dodge Charger, they hired black men to design those cars for them. See, Dodge cars was poorly designed. People weren't buying them. They were like big box. So they got black men to come in and design the cars for them. If you notice, mostly black people buy Chargers and 300s and most of Dodge products, most of Chrysler products. So black people save Chrysler, but you don't hear about that. You hear about the ones, Chicago's spotters on social media talking about the same percentage of people, same 13%. But let me tell you about that 13%. They're talking about committing most of the crimes. If you read the statistics, pronounce that correctly. I'm getting my grammar better. I kind of mumbles when I talk. I'm trying to stop from doing that. But it never said black people committed a lot of crimes. The percentage of crime that it said is black people are arrested for that percentage of crime. But you know what it also says? Most of the black people who are arrested for crimes are exonerated. Really, they had no business being arrested anyway. They say policemen don't have quotas, but they do. You all know they do. It's just not spoken of, but they do. They say there's no blue wall, but you know there is. There are many black people who are arrested. They get them in there and question them and let them go. The same question they could have got an answer for out on the street. Everyone know black people get arrested for things that white people don't. Black people say it all the time when they see white people doing something. Say, boy, he's not going to jail if he was black. He be on his way to jail. We always said that. I work with white guys, talk about stuff they did, and I thought they were lying at first, but I found out they were telling the truth, and I found myself wondering, man, why come they're not in prison? If they were black, they would be. And these guys don't even need to be on the streets. Stuff they're saying that they did. Yeah, the majority of black people are exonerated. They don't tell you that. They don't go that far, and the majority are just arrested, not charged with those crimes. Those people that I knew who would get arrested for crime, they most of them be repeat offenders. It don't be just a whole bunch of people. They get arrested and then what they were arrested for, they gone, man. They gonna do some time. Next thing you know, you see them driving or walking down the street. They showboats with us. And we need to get tired of this. They use us, pad their arrest records. Oh, they'll say they don't, but we always have knew they did. Crime among black people is, I've told you this before, is with a certain demographics. 90% of serious crimes by blacks, this is according to the FBI, this was about 4 or 5 years ago that this was put out, is done by people, those between the ages of 14 and 22. the same repeat offenders. Not a whole lot of people just around here committing crimes. And when I say why 22, usually at that age they've got locked up, killed, or got jobs, or got some sense. Well, if you notice, crime is very low with working class black people. So it's not about they did it because they inherited to do it. It's all about economics. Now don't come into my, well, I know this man that working there. I'm not talking individually. I don't talk that. What I talk is statistics and the consensus of the majority. So don't come with your little personal story. I don't want to hear that. I don't care about that. Because everybody got a personal story. But we have to go by the consensus of the majority. A lot of people say, well, you generalize. When you're talking about a large group of people, you have to generalize. When you're going to go sort them one by one, you go by the consensus of the majority. And that's the way I do it. And that's the only way I'm going to do it. I don't get off into people's personal stuff, personal feelings. Well, I feel like that. I don't want to hear about your feelings. I want to hear about something you can prove, not your feelings. Now, so this crime thing among black people, you know as well as I do. You got so many black communities that's almost crime free. Working class communities, even in some of the cities that's high crime. You got some areas of black people in those cities. There's certain areas where there is no crime. They're in pockets. Over in St. Louis, Missouri, number one crime city in the nation, they say. There's certain areas right there in the city you can go. Virtually crime free. Those are working class people. You got cities surrounding those areas. Virtually crime free. But see, the reason those people thought we were going immigrants and going to be deported, they was fed that mess, and they believed what they wanted to believe. They wanted to believe it. See, they say the Africans believe black people are immigrants over in Africa. They feed them that propaganda. They come over here and don't like us. That's why I'm having second thoughts about going there. I want to get over there and then got to fight them too. We go over there better trained than them, get better jobs. Then they get angry with us. That's a long way to run and to swim. We don't want to join our ancestors in the deep. But you see, let me scoot up some. People of color, there are black people that live in their countries that's controlled by people of color. They're treated worse than the countries controlled by white people. In Brazil, black people are semi-slaves there. Brazil has the largest black population outside of Africa. Mexico, black people are treated horrible in Mexico. But yet the black Mexicans will come here, want to identify with their nationality and ethnicity, and act arrogant with us. India, those people can't stand us. The Chinese, they can't either. But see, what happens is everyone's arrogant with us. Everyone can stand us until they get in trouble. And they go, oh, where the black people at? Where we want to be, minding our own business, and you better mind yours. If it was left up to me, when one black person be out there, but I can't tell someone else what to do. You're just gonna get what you get. Should have treated us right. Outside of white people, who has the most in Congress? Most people in Congress. We do. We're not as bad off as people think we are. If we get ourselves together and take care of business, we don't have to all unite. That's a lot of folks say. No people are all united. Look at how fractured white folks are. But when it comes to, but they have enough of them who would take care of business. We don't have enough of us who would take care of business. You can always have black people feuding, fighting, doing all type of stuff. No one expect them to run and lead. Nothing. Who want to unite with them anyway? I don't want to unite with Pook and Ray Ray. Let them go on about their business. The black people, the conscious, intelligent, well-minded black people need to get together and take care of business and quit worrying about these street folks. Let them do what they do. I don't care about their pants sagging. They can sag them down to their ankles if they want to. I don't have them in my orbit. That's all you have to do. Don't let them in your orbit. If they want to walk down the street looking like that, let them do that. I don't care about somebody with blood red hair, a bunch of ring nose hanging out their nose, and leggings, which I call long panties on, looking like a drag queen. I don't care about them. I don't deal with them kind of women. I don't have them in my orbit. So why would I be concerned about them? Quit worrying about the worst of us and let's concentrate on the best of us and get some things moving. Some people see those people and say, oh, they're our future leaders. They may be your future leader if you're going to be in a gang or something. They're not going to be my future leaders. So that's why I don't worry about them. See, you know why we can't get nowhere? Our older people my age, younger and all, our middle age and seniors and all, they're still we're trying to date like they're in high school. We're about trying to find them somebody. You should have your life together by now. And if you do find you a mate, let them know what you want. What about I look like having a girlfriend? And if I want a woman, I tell her, look, I ain't around trying. I'm dating at my age. Grow up. We got some business to take care of. We can't do it because our adults haven't grown up. I had somebody had some guys had to drive me over to my car when a friend of mine, they knew him. They had to drive me to my car because he couldn't take me. And I was leaving an event. My car was waiting, so they drove me to it. I sat in the car. These was men, some of my age and older. If I closed my eyes, I wouldn't have known if I was in there with some old men or some teenagers. Because they all act the same. The same way with the women. The grown women, even seniors and teenagers, act the same. Black folks, we got to grow up. We got to, the adults have to stop these childish ways, stop thinking about this silly stuff, trying to who you gonna date and matching pajamas and all that BS. I almost said the real thing. And all that BS. Look, we got to grow up. $60, $70-year-old woman saying, I'm buying me a boyfriend. I don't want no girlfriend. If I do find me a woman, I find me a wife. I ain't gonna. You say man find a wife, find the good thing, not a man. Man find a girlfriend, find a good thing. These women now want you. If you take them on a date, they looking for you to pay the electric bill. I'm gonna pay bills where I live. Your house, your bills. Come on, we need to grow up. We're too childish. I'm talking about the adults. Sometimes I talk to teenagers, I can get more sense out of them than I can people my age. You're still playing around, playing video games. Come on, fellas, grow up. I haven't played a video game since about 30 years since I played a video game, and I only did it twice then. The reason I didn't want to do it because I saw where it would take up too much of my time. It's okay to play it, but neglecting your wife, your children to play a game, I just choose not to do it because I think it'd take up too much. It would take up too much of my time. And I don't like getting addicted to anything. But we got to grow up, and our well-minded thinkers need to have seminars, get together, and apply some strategy. But that's what white folks do. When you see the white guy walking around with the mohawk and the woman walking around all black looking like a vampire, white people don't expect those folks to be their future leaders. They don't even worry about them. Because the people who about doing something, gonna do something, don't have them in their orbit. Why you worry about pansackers? Leave them out your orbit. Let him do what he want to do. He's not somebody you need to be trying to work with anyway. The women you criticize looking like drag queen, all that crazy looking on all that, just don't have them in your orbit. We got to start going, because I'm going to tell you, a lot of the so-called good people who call themselves progressive in doing things, they like chaos and being around those toxic people who they say are not doing things. You like chaos. We got to stop liking toxic people. I wouldn't do it myself, but I like to watch them do it. Women get with toxic men. She won't do that herself, but if she was a man, she'd be doing it. But since she's not a man, she get with a toxic man, and watch him do it. Men get with toxic women. He like the chaos, arguing and fussing. We got to grow up. But you people that do all that type of stuff, stay away from me. I'm going to get around some people who want to get some things done. And we ain't going to be marching in those streets either. We'll just let y'all do that. It's time out for playing. Too many black adults never grew up because you weren't taught to grow up. Most of you were raised by a woman, the men, and you're so emotional. She bullied you. She didn't raise you. She bullied you. I wish you would. You better not. Hitting on them, beating them. And he grew up half crazy. Anytime somebody disagreed with him, he ready to fight. She ready to fight. You see how quick the women are ready to fight? They'll jump up in the man face, call them all kind of names, ready to box. No, she gonna get boxed out, but still try it. Because that emotion, that adrenaline level is so high. A black woman will walk up to a man, size of an NFL linebacker. She's 5'2", 220 pounds, ready to box. Because they know most of them won't do nothing to me. I knock them out. I knock their teeth out. Jump up in my face. If you jump up a man that size face, what would a man my size have coming? You bring smoke, I'm going to answer with some fire. And you ain't even got to hit me. Just go too far. You ain't even got to hit me. I hit you first. Knock you out. I don't do that little pity pat you see on Facebook. I'm going to knock you out. So don't jump up in my face and warn you. I'm not to be played with like that. And men, y'all stop playing with these women. Stop letting them disrespect you like that. And you women, learn how to be ladies. You want a man to be a gentleman, you be a lady. We got to grow up. We're hurting ourselves with this mess. And I don't hear any type of serious conversation from other adults. Either talking about somebody, talking about some old foolish thing. Never any serious conversation about building and growing. And if you talk about it, oh, I ain't worried about it. I know you're not worried about it. I can see that. I can look around. Our people, I can look around and see you not worried about all that. But it's time to get worried about all that. Tell you about anything serious. I could talk about kids about serious stuff more than I can adults, because you won't listen. You might be too stupid to know what I'm talking about. But we gotta get some well-minded people together, and we gotta start building some kind of way. And Lee, I'm not talking. Don't bring no pan-sagging, spooking Ray there. I don't worry about them. I don't deal with them. If you bring them there, you can leave too. You know some young people who are intelligent in buildings. Bring them. But don't bring no toxic street hood thug dude. We don't have time for that. And you people, if you want to fall for that Latino and people of color mess, you go ahead and do it. The people I'm gonna deal with not gonna fool with that mess, because I'm gonna tell you why. They don't help us, we don't need to help them. They talk about us, treat us like trash until they get in trouble. And do crazy stuff, but we gotta have compassion. We don't have to have a damn thing for those folks. They didn't have it for us. God never told us to let people make fools out of us. He never told us to do that. And if you serve a God that tells you to let people make fools out of you, you serving the wrong God. Jesus didn't let people use him. Why are you gonna let them use you? He knew what to, he drew the line when the time got. I can't say he knew the line. I can't say tell him what he know. He gotta tell me. But he drew the line that you supposed to have. I'm I'm talking to Christians. Don't you supposed to have the mind in Christ Jesus should be in you? He didn't let people make an idiot out of him. Why you gonna do that? I got compassion. I got compassion not for everybody. I'm just gonna be honest. It's not for everyone. Just like you don't have love for everyone. I don't. Maybe you do, but I don't. I just haven't reached the level of love my enemies. But I never will. No, no, no. Can't do that. I just haven't reached that stage. It's a lot of stages some of us don't reach. I don't think I can reach that stage. You don't like me, I don't like you. We been they trying to make patsies out of us. People want to use us as a flunky. They all over the world. I'm gonna be honest with you. The black people here in the United States, there's something unique about us. It's like people don't. They say we're inferior. People don't treat us like we're inferior when the time comes. It's like they're trying to keep a sleeping giant woke. Sorry, let me rephrase that. It's like they're trying to keep a sleeping giant from waking up. They don't treat us like we're inferior. They treat us like as though they're scared for us to find something out. That we're the head and not the tail. We're supposed to be the lender, not the borrower. Because look at us. Look at us. Just look at us. See, they said that the the Israel, the people of God, there was going to be imposters in the land, and those who say they were Jews but they're not, but they're imposters of the synagogue of Satan. But look at the way the world treats us. Just look at it. We're hated around the world, even by Africans, everyone. They treat us different than other black people. Where even the Africans and people of color, see, people of color is not us. See, they recently dropped that in a couple of decades ago, talking about people of color, because they didn't want us to just get everything. You give us our due and let them worry about theirs. I remember Joe Biden when he was running for president. One thing he said about reparations I disagreed with. I voted for him because I don't just not vote for somebody over one issue. I didn't agree with everything with Obama, but I'd vote for him again if he ran. It don't take just see, that's the MAGA people problem. They vote for Trump because of one issue, one thing they like about him, or one thing that they think he's going to do against someone else. But look, one thing Biden said about reparations, there can't be any reparations unless the American Indian is included. The hell with them. They got their reparation when they took that worthless, useless land that they allowed themselves to be suckered into. They have to have casinos on it because they can't grow nothing on it. We ain't got nothing to do with them. But they wouldn't with us picking that our ancestors. When I say us, I'm talking about our ancestors. Picking that cotton, being whipped, having your babies taken from you, sold to somebody else, sell your wife and children to somebody else. That didn't happen to them. They lost theirs in battle. We didn't. You let them in. They took yours. You tried to fight at the end when it was too late. I'm not thinking about you Indians. You gotta fight for yourself. That reparations for us. We can't never get what we want because they're trying to include everybody else in. Like I told you about the black farmers, this was under Biden, I think. When the black farmers, they didn't get their COVID relief. The white ones got theirs. Then the black farmers sued. They got theirs. And they won. But they couldn't get it because the white farmers sued, said they wanted some of the black farmers' money. So they just didn't give me no one any. Don't that sound crazy? How's you gonna win a lawsuit and they're not gonna give you your money because somebody else wants some of it who they already gave some money to? And you know what's happening? The black farmers are doing just great right now. They got workers. See, they didn't get government subsidies like you did. So now you begging. They're doing okay. You thought you had them, didn't you? I hope you lose the farm so some more black folks can get that. Lose your crops, your house, your dog, your land, so some black folks can get that. So I'm not for all this. You keep picking at us, and we keep forgiving you, helping you. Oh, okay. Well, we're okay. We'll help you come on back up. Don't stomp on them. Kick them while they down. I don't play that mess. You can't. We gotta stop people from messing over us and forgiving them. Come on back on into the fold. We was never in their fold. Let's stop playing with these people. They don't play with us. Every time we start gaining, they start having putting us through another reconstruction. See, that's why I said we built for this. We've been through reconstructions. You Latinos and people of color and all you, and you poor whites. This is your first one. We've been through this rodeo. Like I said, we built for this. We built for it. While the rest of you whining and crying, we're going on about our business. But we supposed to be inferior. Now, you don't want to wake that sleeping giant. That's what you don't want to do. Try to come in our neighborhood to them. And I'm going to tell you, let's not let these people come in our neighborhood with no hoods, carry no literature, no neo-Nazi. We need to kick their butts out of our neighborhood. Physically, if we have to, because police going along with them. It's your constitutional right. If they know that these people with these hoods and all this have been terrorists for black people, they wouldn't let them neo-Nazis march in a Jewish neighborhood. Okay. If this is their constitutional right, why come when a black man just walking in a white area and stopped and racially profiled until he said he got to get out and sometimes arrested? He's minding his own business. Where is his constitutional right to be there? And these people got on hoods and guns, terrorizing folks, but you're going to protect them to their constitutional right. But this black man just walking through a neighborhood. And he get jammed up. You're a bunch of liars. That's what you are. You twist things to try to hurt black people. So like I say, I'm trying to get with some people, some well-learned people who about helping their people. We need to plot a strategy instead of just sitting around waiting to see what happens. We need to. Don't you know that the learned white people, they go in the room, they plot 20 years ahead, plotting for their people, not for their people to keep themselves rich and their people and trickle down to their people. But we have to stop sitting around waiting. We have to cut that out. We got to plot a strategy down the road for our people, and not just for our own little personal self. I tried to do business with a lot of brothers all through the years. I tried to. They throw me under the bus every time. Now, if you that type, we don't have time for you because this is not no personal thing. We have to plot a strategy, and we have to do it with some well thinking, well minded people. If they not, we're gonna kick their butts out. We don't have time for no foolishness no more. And I'm gonna tell you right now, we don't have time for no gender divide. We don't got time for no black woman coming up there talking about we black women. We're gonna kick you out. We're gonna do this as black people. Now there's no black man or no black woman. You bring that black sister girl foolishness up in there, we're throwing you out. We got time out for playing. If you want women want to go, like I said, you want to go on, you go on. I'm talking about black people. I'm not talking about no black man or black woman. I'm talking about black people. It's time out for playing. And you silly men, like the ones I was talking about, old men, bunch of fools. We don't have time for you. You can go out there and march, let them bust your head, but we don't have time for that kind of foolishness. It's trying to strategize. And I'm gonna tell you all something, especially you wealthy black people and athletes and all, building these schools. Who you think you fooling? We got school. If you're gonna do that, think smart. You build one school. How many kids gonna go to that one school? You spend millions of dollars. How many people you gonna affect? Building schools in Africa. Let them build their own school. They got a government. But look, how many people you gonna affect just with one school? Stop with that old 20th century foolishness. That old building a school for black people back in the 1800s. That was fine back then. Back in the 1920s, that was 20s. Building for them out there in the country when they didn't have a school. I have to stop that like I almost just did. A lot of time I cut off my conversation, get ready to go to my next thought. I have to quit, make sure I say the next thought. But that's old. You know how you do it. Just like Umar Johnson talking about building a school, which never got built. But that's not the way you do it. We got school district controlled by black people in this nation. We don't have to stop teaching stuff because other folks stop teaching it. What you do, LeBron James, Umar Johnson, all you folks, if you develop a curriculum and bring it to the school. If you have a special program, introduce it to school districts that's already here. We got schools already. Don't need you building one. Introduce that curriculum. A curriculum of it could be including behavior, what the children wear. Many schools will adopt that curriculum, include it into their curriculum. See, no one. I'm gonna tell you. You know how people talk about Ebonics. You know how they got started. That was a group of people who talking about they want black people to speak in their way, which is not every black people way. Everyone don't want to speak like that. And if you have some black people speaking poor English, you don't get down to their level, bring them up to a better level. They tried to introduce it to the school district in Oakland, California, but it was rejected by black people. And that was the end of it. If you notice, the only time you hear Ebonics is when some white folks trying to make fun of black people. Black people not worried about no Ebonics. We have our way of speaking our dialect, just like everyone else does. They understand them Indian folks from over in India on the phone with all that broken English. You trying to take care of your business, call a company, and here they are talking to you from India with all that broken English. They understand them. They understand these Mexicans and Hispanics with all this broken English. These hillbilly Billy Bob White folks down there from Appalachia with all that old draw, southern draw. You understand them, but all of a sudden you can't understand black people. We don't have to talk like you. You don't try to talk like us. We don't have to cover what you think. You don't cover what we think. We have to stop being ashamed of ourselves. But you don't introduce foolishness into a curriculum because those kids have to go out in public and deal with this society. So you have to teach them how to operate in this society. You put your plan into schools that's already established. But you think it's gonna cut down on your money. I doubt LeBron James think that, but he still got that. He meant well. Many of those people that do that, they meant well. They just don't know better. I'm gonna spend millions of dollars for a school that may have 150, 200 kids in it when I could have when I could have developed a very good curriculum and have develop a plan and have your plan part of a school that's already established curriculum. You can reach more people that way. We need to stop with the old thinking. That's an old way of thinking. We have to start thinking newly, in a new way. Move ahead. You don't move forward, you move backwards. I don't know, what am I saying? You don't move backwards, you move forward. We need to let those old ways go. Just like we let all that protesting go. That's the old way. They don't even know what to do with us right now. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to think. And I like it like this. You know that song say I like it like that? I like it like that. They don't know what to do with us right now. They can't arrest us. Well, I saw some people in Philadelphia join the protest. It's about 8 black people. And the rest of them was non-black. Guess who got arrested? Got it right. Oh, they're just itching for us. They itching for us to get out there. Got my cup of mushroom coffee here. I wish some of you would try it. I'm not promoting people's brand because I'm not paid to do it. I do it if I'm paid to do it. But I'm saying this because it's very healthy for you. When I know healthy things, I like to pass it on to other people. You know, just tell them about it, and it's up to you what you do. But it's very healthy for you, the mushroom coffees. Most of them are about the same. You know, they all of them gonna make their claims. But just about any brand of mushroom coffee would be good for you. Most people are partial to the rise. Like I say, I'm not advertising for them, but I'm just telling you so because I want to see everybody healthy, so we can do what we have to do. But that's just crazy. People tell me we were immigrants and they painted us as criminals, and they thinking that they thought we would be the ones who get deported. So that goes to show you these people voted for Donald Trump to hurt other people, and then that's why they're getting hurt. And I don't have one ounce of pity for them. You see, well, all Latinos in vote for Donald Trump. I'm not sorting through you, because people don't sort through us. When they talk about black, they say blacks this, blacks that. They don't say some blacks or many blacks. They say blacks. So I'm not talking about some Latinos voted for him. Not Latinos voted for him. That's what I'm gonna say. If you didn't, you can sort yourself out. Cause I'm not gonna do it. Don't nobody sort us out. Like I said, I have white friends. They know how I am, how I talk. If they think I'm talking about them, then they must not really be my friend. Cause I'm not sorting them out too. They know who I'm talking about. Because most of the time when black people and white people start getting along in numbers, the government stepping in to come between us. It happened during each Reconstruction. You had black people being elected in towns back in the early late 1800s, early 1900s. Black people was being elected in towns that was mostly white, but they had to put a stop to that. But many of the time, their policies to hurt us help us. Like during the Great Depression, you don't hear black people talking about the Great Depression much, do you? Mostly white people talking about it. But when the banks collapsed, you know why? Why it didn't hurt black people much? Black people weren't allowed to put their money in the bank. It was just a few banks in a few places. But most black people had to keep their money hidden at home, under the floorboard, and all that. Many of you know when a lot of them older people died, people went to the house trying to tear it up looking for money. But what happened was black people didn't lose their money. Black people started buying Cadillacs back then. That's what made Cadillacs popular. Black people have helped a lot of things along, but we don't get the credit for it because they look at the worst of us. Most white people know they go to stores everywhere. They see black people. Those black people much more well behaved than many of them. They just go on about their daily life, taking care of their business. Then they'll go on social media, see some black folks act up, and act like they see it everywhere they go. I don't see it. I've never seen none of that type of stuff in Walmart, any other store. I'm a black man living in the black community, but I haven't seen it. Why come you see so much of it? And I'm not talking about no one fight because I see white folks. I have seen white folks fighting in the store though. I have to say that. I have seen that. I haven't seen any black people. Like I say, we're not the most who commit crime. We're the most arrested and the most exonerated. You can look it up. Look it up and see who's the most exonerated after an arrest. So it didn't say we had a high. It say higher crime rate, but it's talking about arrest. Cause you're arrested don't mean you committed a crime. They get black people, take them down to the station, get credit for that arrest, and then let them go in the morning. Most of the time, or let them go whenever. But most of them don't get charged. So we have to stop thinking bad about ourselves and think good. But like I said, like getting back to all this unity stuff, we're not gonna all unite. We're not gonna all do good, but we don't include that in the circle of planners. All the riffraff, we just use them for cannon fodder if necessary. That's what other folks do. Stop worrying about everybody. We're trying to get our people ahead. And those who want to be silly, we just have to use them for cannon fodder. So don't be just, you want to remedy that, just don't be one of the silly ones. Oh, finally got this air working up, but that's why you don't see me sweating. But like I said, we got to get some things going. We're too far behind in planning. We have to plan for our cities, plan for how our people are going to respond to things. Because we cannot let people run up in our towns with hoods and masks on. I don't even care if it's ICE. We need to deal with them too. Because they don't have no business in our neighborhood. Yeah, I said it. We need to deal with them too. I don't care if it's the local police coming at you with masks on. We need to deal with them too. Because no one has no business coming in a black neighborhood with a mask on, acting like you're an immigrant. Because immigrant enforcement agencies don't supposed to bother uh, um, citizens anyway. It's illegal. But I know now they're not going by the law. Anything goes. So if they're not going to go by the law, I'm not going to go by the law either. And we'll see who prevails. Well, I plan on it being me. You ain't putting me. None of my people in no van with no mask on. And no neo-Nazi coming up in here. We got to be ready for them. Or no Klansmen coming up here passing out nothing. The people in Lincoln Heights in Ohio, they got on their bulletproof stuff, the pistols on, walking their kids to school, taking care of their neighborhoods. They're not playing. Then gonna ask the black woman, why you got a hook, why you got a mask on? She's trying to explain it. She shouldn't have tried to explain it. You don't know them, no explain. We try to explain too much to folks. And they don't explain nothing to us. We want to prove ourselves to these folks. You know what my answer would have been? Do you ask the Ku Klux Klan why they got a mask on? Do you ask the neo Nazis and Proud Boys and why they got a mask on? Do you ask ICE why they got a mask on? Why the hell you asking me what I got one on for? Because I notice when you see these black folks on these shows, they ask black people all type of questions that they should be asking white folks. Well, affirmative action. We didn't start affirmative action. We didn't start DEI. White folks started that. But instead of worrying about it, why don't you ask why they had to start it? They started because of their bad practices. Nobody asked you to. What you think you doing? Scooping people up off the street and giving them jobs? They were trained just like you were. I remember one white friend of mine, when they was talking about hiring more black police officers, yeah, boy, they qualified. So I asked him, I say, because you got to watch them sometime too. I asked him, how does a policeman get qualified? He thought I said, don't they go to the police academy? He said, yeah. I said, or come from another department after they have already been to the police academy? Work for a department, come from another department? I said, yeah. I said, well, how are the black ones hired? Don't they hire the same way? He said, yeah. I said, well, why are the white ones qualified and the black ones are not? I said, what, you think black people are inferior to white people? And I told him, say, you run around and call yourself a black man's friend, but you see, you still got that in you too. He still had it in him. Now, how's a black man, a white man, a black or white woman? They all go through the same training, learn the same things, the same way, but one's gonna be qualified and the other's not. See how stupid many people think? They've been fed so much propaganda against folks. You don't you see them white folks, the stuff they white right on? I can say white folks. That be people, color, Latinos doing it too against us. I see them names. I see those names. That silly stuff they say. They are so far off base and don't even know it. Don't even know it. Their people commit a lot of crime, but they think they don't. Let me tell you what happens. I told you this about early in the week in the newspaper. You read where there was someone who broke into a house. They arrested him, and then they'll say, "Well, he's responsible for several break-ins in that neighborhood." They wait till after they catch him before they even put it in the paper, so they won't ruin those people's property values and make their town look unsafe. But in the black neighborhoods, you're reading the paper today where a house was broken into. They can know it's the same person by the MO. The next day, 2 days later, they will list each break-in as it happens. Well, you're constantly reading about break-ins in the black area. But in the white area, you only read about that one break-in and they got them. So you don't even think about all of them. But with the black people, you think about all the break-ins because were reported as they happen. It's a mind game they play. A big mind game. And people fall for it every time. Even black people fall for it. Because we came up under the same ideology as everyone else. So you're gonna have a lot of that thinking. You have to try to purge it from yourself. There's certain things I think sometimes. I say, well, I know I know better than that. I came under this system too. So let's get some minds together. And I'm going to tell you, we're talking about progress now. Don't nobody want you to come to about uh, God will work through us. He's not going to come down here and do it for us. He'll work through us. So don't think that all you got to do is pray. You can pray, but then act on it. Some people think, well, I'm going to pray and I'm going to leave it in the hands of God. Some things you pray and leave in the hand of God. Some things you pray and you got to be active in it and take care of business. You got to know how to discern and don't think you handle all things the same. Because we don't have time to sit around being stagnant or try the same old policies. You see these people, they're using our old policies. See, I never protest. I told you all this before. I would go and I record them for the cable channel and everywhere, but because I never believed in peaceful protests. I believe in I'm the eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth type of guy only. I believe in an eye, two eyes for an eye, all your teeth for a tooth. You're supposed to hit back with a greater force than what they brought to you. If they slapped you, you punch them. 2 or 3 times. Oh, it's time out for play. They done watered men down. Oh man, I'm about to mess up here. They done watered men down so much. To men almost scared to do anything. Moving out the way, letting these women run everything, and all they're doing is messing up. Women are not builders. What have they? The women have actually. Y'all may get mad at me saying this, but I'm gonna say, what have the women actually? I'm about to clean that little spill up. I didn't spill out too much. What have the women actually built? They go to school and learn to a job, get a trade, but that's for themselves. I'm talking about actually built for the people. Nothing. Women have taken over the voting process. They can't get the vote out like it used to be. You know who used to get the vote out? Precinct committeemen on precinct level. When men was going getting the vote out, you know what they were doing? They were working with organizations, CORE, Urban League, NAACP, the Action Networks and all. They were working with different people. They worked with in every city. They worked with those down to the precinct committeeman level, hitting those bricks. Now the women want to try to run everything from social media. You see how poorly the vote getting out there now, and how low the voting levels are. We need these men to take this back over again. Like I told you about the 3 black women that started Black Lives Matter. And that ended up being chaotic. 2 of them in prison. And I think 2 of them, it's the second or third time going to prison. One of them, she's out. She snitched on the others, and she's out. During George Floyd, they had over 150 million given to them. They wouldn't splurge with that money. And that's the only reason the other one is out, because she snitched on her buddy. Ladies, y'all might get mad. Y'all gonna get upset. I ain't say mad, but they get angry. But what have women ever really built? Don't come with that. What I'm saying. Don't come with that college stuff. What you do? You say you're the most educated. You're not. You went through K through 12 like everybody else. College is not education. College is training. It's just a 4-year trade school that teach you a whole lot of other subjects you're not going to use anyway, just to get your money and have you with a high student loan. There's only certain careers you choose in college that really will help you out and you're able to pay back those student loans. Because let's face it, most black people go either by scholarship or student loans. Doctor, lawyer, dentist, pharmacist. But nursing's okay. A lot of people tell me, but nursing's good. But you're being trained for a trade. And those are some good trades to get off into. You're being trained, not educated. But we're gonna have to start getting things together, work together. Those who don't want to work together and want to come and fractionalize things into gender and age and all of that. I don't care if you're 16 years old. It wouldn't matter to me if you're 16 years old. If you have the mind and good ideas, you're welcome. But you can be 66 and foolish. You're not getting in the door. You're going to get put out the door. We need black business people to come on board and do something to help plan things. Because when we have meetings, everyone's there except the black business people, the black economists. We think that because somebody got a big mouth that they're qualified. A lot of people good in talking and telling people off, but they're no good in negotiations or planning and strategy. We need some people who are black people who are urban planners, economists. We need help from all those people. Preachers are fine, but we don't need them trying to run this. This is business. We got a lot to do. I thought of this. I just thought of this today. We around here talking, sitting around doing nothing. We got to plot some strategies. And then see what it said that only 10% of society is actually worth something. The rest are cannon fodder. We want to get that 10% together to make sure the rest of you don't be cannon fodder. We got a lot of people just playing around and not growing up. I look on social media, see all this stuff from these women, and even some from a few men. Talking about dating, and like I said before, let's grow up. Not in high school anymore. I could talk to a grown person, especially a female. She talk like a high school freshman. She could be 60 years old, talk like a high school freshman. The men talk like some foolish little young boy, sitting around laughing at people and all that. Can't you keep your laugh to yourself? If you still laughing at people, that's what kids do. And when they get high school age, it's bad for them. They ought to know better by then. Stamping people face and laugh at them. I see them do it. They've done it to me before and didn't even know what they were laughing at because when they see things, black people don't have a range of emotions like everybody else. When they cut that foolishness out, most of us don't know nothing but laughter and anger. As you're laughing at something or you're angry at it. That's like a person who just never developed. And that's the right word for it. Many of us has just never developed ourselves. Those people I knew when I was in school and in my 20s. It's like they haven't evolved any. Coming to you with the same stuff that came to you with back then. So those who want to think we're immigrants, let them think that. But watch you be on the in the back of that van. Us or them. Oh, they want us. They want us to do something. But we know better. When you who go to church, when you go to church, pray about it, but then act on it. There's two churches that's near and dear to me. My brother Roger Allen, he has a New Mount Zion Primitive Baptist Church. And for the people here in the St. Louis area, it's at 43rd and Converse. He's my brother. And there's another church that's near and dear to me, New Shining Light, Holiness, Deliverance, non-denominational church at 740 Broadway in Venice, Illinois, where Bishop John H. Williams is the pastor and First Ladies Linda Williams and Shalonda Williams is the youth pastor. So go by either one of those churches and you won't regret it. Yeah. So I'm a member of my brother's church, but if my brother, if I wasn't, I would join New Shining Light myself. But so go by those churches. Those are two churches I recommend. Yeah, those two churches I recommend. So but the reason I say go to church, pray, then take care of business. Let me take a quick break right quick, and I'm gonna come back and wrap up. Stay with me. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna. I can't play my emotion. I have to reprogram everything back in. I'm in the process of making me a new intro. I'm gonna let AI make it this time and see how it goes. But to reiterate what I was saying, many people they tried to hurt us. Talking about we were the immigrants, and I can understand Latinos saying that, but for the Africans to say that, that was really bad for them to say that. I guess you all be in the back of the van too. Because when they come over here, they are fed propaganda about us. The Europeans come over and treat us better than the Africans does. Come over here and think they're better than us. I know one thing they're not better than us at putting on some deodorant. I mean, I can see you're not be dirty, but come on, you gotta kind of put on a little body spray, perfume, cologne, some deodorant. I know they have some deodorant over in Africa. Yeah, I'll be a little tart. Even the little babies. I don't know where they get that tart. Back to what I was saying. But there was always two things I saw today that was going on today that they were they thinking that we were immigrants and trying to get us to come help them. And then the farmers talking about black people come and pick their fruit. They didn't say people. Uh, they singled out black people like we next on the N word ladder. Now you next is your place. We don't pick nothing. We want you to lose it. People never care about us. They want us to care about them. I don't. I don't know why the rest of you do. Some of you just sucker for other people problems. But we don't want to help each other with anything. And I'm going to say this before I go. Look, to black folks. Quit around these other folks criticizing your own people. If they don't criticize theirs to you, they're not going to do it. Whatever problems we got, everybody got problems. All people got problems. They don't tell us theirs, but we always running them telling them ours. But it's like we're the only people expected to do everything perfect, or we deserve whatever we get. I told you before, that's how Candy Owens and Leard and all of them formed their format around what black people are not doing right. So what? Everybody not doing something right, and we're inferior while we're expected to be perfect. Like I said, they don't want to wake that giant up. And we have to be perfect, or we deserve whatever happens to us. Yeah, I'm not gonna hold well. I done held you long enough tonight, didn't I don't even put my cash up on my I would like for you to like and subscribe on you subscribe on YouTube, and you can like and send stars and send to my Cash App, Facebook. I got my PayPal up too, so I can keep this program going. Yeah, I was getting a little late. I better let you go. I'm getting a little sleepy anyway. But look, to reiterate what I was saying, let's not let people sucker us into their fight as though we can't pick and choose our own fights. If we wanted to be in this fight, we'd be in it already. So evidently we don't want to be. So leave us alone. I know I'm not going to be. And I hope you wouldn't. But I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. If there's some new news come out today, I may do one tomorrow. If something new come out, I don't want to get on here and nothing new came out. But we had to be warned, and if I can just stop one black person from getting hurt or killed, I think I accomplished my mission, because we didn't ask for this. We did our part on the 5th of November. See, because black people voted overwhelmingly for Kamala Harris. We're in the normal range. Black men and black women together. We usually didn't separate it like that. We see black people. It was around the 90%, 89, 90%, which is normal for what black people vote for a Democratic candidate. But people try to act like it's all the black men ran off and left. And you ran off and left him. All you talked about was black women acting like she running like the president of a female sorority or someone, the president of Spelman. You can't leave everyone else out of something and then just say, "Come vote for me," and that's it. It wasn't Kamala's fault. She didn't cause that. It was the black women in general. Like it's a sister girl movement. But everyone else wasn't going for that. Because to be honest with you, I made up my mind to vote for Kamala the very night she announced her candidacy. It was on a Sunday night, I think. Saturday or Sunday, something like that. Well, she got my vote. Why? Because she black. I don't know that stuff about what you think she is. She black. She getting my vote. And you know what? She was actually more qualified than Obama when she ran. Well, she had I can say more qualified, but she had more qualifications than Obama had in his first term. Because Obama was an Illinois state senator, then he was a U.S. senator, and he didn't even finish out that term because he was elected president. So, but Kamala was a California state prosecutor. He was in the Senate for a while. Then he was vice president. So she had an impressive resume. Stacey Abrams, impressive resume. I would have liked to see Stacey Abrams as the governor of Florida. She may become one day. But the problem is, they're doing the same sister girl stuff with her, turning a lot of men off. Men don't want to sit up there and listen to you all talk about how much better you all are, but you can't prove it. Because you're not. I really hate that Tashara Jones lost in St. Louis because the people didn't come out to vote. Yeah, you didn't come out to vote because you can't get the vote out because you're trying this social media voting thing using social media and it's not working out like when you was pounding them bricks going out to get that vote. Oh, I guess I do it for tonight, but you all remember my title though. Is Latinos and Africans. Thought we were immigrants and we are gonna get deported, but the joke's on them. Yep, the joke's on them. We and the people from like India, they are really some mean people towards black people. And the Arabs, they're not much better. They just want to come in, get your money. When people, I know people get angry because I say stuff like this. I say what I want to say. I'm not beholden to anyone. And if they take me off, they just take me off. But I'm not beholden to anyone. I better get up and wrap it up because I'm getting sleepy and getting to ramble a little bit. So, yeah, I thank you for tuning in to this episode of No More Water Fire next time. I have my guest on probably when I come back on next time. I have a guest. Um, oh yeah, go on social media, hit up IG Expert Clean on social media. You'll be able to reach him through Facebook Messenger at this point. You know, it's Expert Clean. It's IG. Yeah, go by and check him out here. You can sprinkling brand new. I remember when he did my BMW truck, and some people looked at that and saw the truck. It's black. They thought I had gotten a new truck. And I had to tell them, no, that's the same old truck. We had that BMW sparkling, and it lasts for quite a while also. And those who want candles made, see Ronnie D. Rattler on Facebook. Just look up her name and get a hold. She'll make candles for all occasions. And she'll make them for all occasions. Beautiful candles. Yeah. She do wedding, make them for weddings, whatever you need them for. So check her out. I mean, she happened to be my niece, but you know, I gotta help my family, you know. Everybody else help theirs. And so who else in the family got a business? Oh, Billy's Pastries up on 73rd and State. Those are my people, my cousins. So I'm gonna take this title down, 'cause I'm sure you read it by now. Hit my cash up on my PayPal if you can. Don't have to be a lot. Every little bit counts. Even when I sign off, you all rights to recording can do it. So I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna have my graphics next time. My video, I'm having a new opening and closing made. Make it with AI and see what it does. So thank you for tuning in to No More Water Fire next time. My name is Larry Duncan Allen, and I bid you a good night.